And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at MegaCity Oceania. The planet is flooding, we need more space, so we're going to build cities on the ocean here. It's the year 2100, so we still got some time before this is necessary. In this game, you're going to be building cities, following rules. You have these cities here, but it's a little bit of a dexterity game. You build a city, and then you're going to push that city across the ocean. You got to deliver it on a barge to this giant underwater city trying to score points. This is a game that's kind of, well, I shouldn't say kind of, it is a dexterity game, but it's a dexterity game with mechanisms to score points in various ways, to the point I haven't really seen anything like this before. Let's take a look. Players are going to be building a underwater city here, starting with this central park tile. Each player starts with their own park in cubes of their color, and they're going to be trying to score prestige points, which is how you win the game. Now, on a player's turn, they have two standard actions that they can do. They can do the same action twice. One of those actions can be to reach in this bag full of all sorts of pieces and pull out 3 of them. So maybe I add these 3 pieces. And for my second action, I'll add 3 more pieces. And these are pieces that I'll be able to use. Pieces come in 3 different types of material, also known as colors. And in fact, you can even pick a piece if you want, but then you only get one. You say, I want a concrete piece, and you look through, and you're going to find maybe an exact piece that you're looking for, and you'll put that piece in front of you. Players can also take contract cards and or platforms. So on your turn, you can just take one of these platforms. If you have a platform in front of you, you might rezone it. Flip it to the other side. You always know what the other side is because it shows you on a hexagon here. You don't like these 3? For one of your actions, you can clear them and put out the next 3 tiles that are in the pile. You can also take contract cards. You can take the top one of the 4 different types, or you could reorganize it by putting it to the back as one of your actions, and then maybe you'll take the next one instead. Now, in between turns, when it's other players' turns, you're going to be working on building. You want to build on your bases here with the things according to a contract. So this one here has to be a height of 60. Now, happily, the game comes with this measuring to see how high. 60 is pretty high. It has to be pretty high. And it needs to have 8 or more pieces in it. Some of them have different things. Like, for example, this one needs to be a height of 50, have 8 pieces exactly, and it needs to have like a hole in the middle of it. This one here is 55 or higher, 8 pieces exactly, and it must touch the hexagon. Now, there's some other rules here. In this case, you must touch all 3 of these. That's your water and electrical outlets, so I need to cover those at least slightly. So maybe if I stick, ooh, this one's going to be tricky, right? Because I can use 8 pieces here. So let's see. That does not touch all of them. Maybe this touches both of those. And that one touches that one. So that's 2 of my pieces. Now I need to get to 8 or higher. Whew. Or 60 or higher. So I'm 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll build... Oh, man. This is going to be tricky. That, I don't think that's 60 or higher yet. This is... Oh, it is 60 or higher. Hooray! Does it have 8 pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll put this one here for 8. Actually, I'll stick that one on there for balance. Now, on your turn, what you can do is instead of your 2 standard actions, I can take a special action. I'm going to deliver this. So you'll take one finger and you're going to push this onto the table without it falling over. In this case, doesn't seem too tricky to stop that one from falling over. I built a nice solid building there. However, as you're building buildings, it's very possible that you'll have something that stands up. I might build some craziness like this. Well, that's all well and good, but pushing that is going to be a lot trickier. If it falls while you're pushing it, you just pull everything back and you can start again on your next turn. and you just basically lose the rest of that turn, and you got to go back and work on it. And so there's all sorts of contracts that are here. They might tell you you can't use a certain type of material, that you need to do a specific type of thing. The back of the book will tell you here, these are the architectural requirements, but the main thing is, and I just realized I broke the rule when I built this, I'm not allowed to touch that. So I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board and start over again as I build this. And I have to touch all 3 of those, but I can't touch that. Oh, it's tricky. So you're going to be working on these and pushing them to the middle. You also, once per turn, can push a park to the middle. If you push something that touches a park, you can build a monument there. I should also mention that you have to put one of your cubes on the building somewhere so everyone knows it's yours, and you can even use that cube as part of the building if you want to. Once you get it there, you're going to turn the contract over, and it's going to be worth that many points at the end of the game. Huzzah! Once all the standard contracts are done, the 4 landmark contracts, you can see these are much harder to build. They can't use certain materials. They have multiple restrictions, but they can be very big buildings. Everyone has a chance to try to build these, and you have like one final turn. If nothing else, you can throw all your pieces back in the bag as a recycling and get a prestige point. Then players will score points for the things that they've built. They'll score points for stuff built next to parks with monuments and things. Whoever has the highest prestige in the different color buildings will get these extra tokens. If you have one building of each type, you'll get one of these tokens, and this token goes to whoever built the tallest building. Most prestige points is the winner. Well, the components for this are fantastic. Look at these, just beautiful pieces. I really like them, and you get a ton of pieces in this game. There is so many pieces, and they're all kinds of cool shapes. I believe according to the rule book, there's 153 different colors. Very easy to tell the difference between them. These tiles are also nice and clean. The colors and symbology on them, they're thick tiles. I like that there's tokens here to measure things. It works really well. These are very clear. I mean, these might take a while to figure out what they mean, but it's right on the back of the book. Do that, do that. The tokens are shaped in such a way that they're both tricky to build, but at the same time they look really cool as you build the buildings. Nice, great components. Now, one of the best things about MegaCity Oceania is just how cool this looks. It's a really neat game as you see the city kind of grow and expand. It just has this, I mean, the way the pieces are shaped, it has this very new, futuristic, cool thing. You're going to be proud of your city and how the buildings work together. And so visually, people are going to walk by the table and be like, what is going on? Now, Hub Games likes to push the envelope with the games that they design, and this one certainly is there. It's a dexterity game that makes you think. Now, if there was one thing I'm going to say negative about the game, it's that it's a little loosey-goosey with how things are. You might sit there and argue over, is a piece touching one of the ports or not? Is it following this rule exactly to the letter of the law? Like, how long do you have? When it's your turn, you need to take your 2 actions. But I'm not ready. I'm about to finish building. Yeah, but you need to go now. But wait, I'm done now. So there's a little bit of timing and just a little bit of that frizzliness, I guess I would say, in the game. But I don't mind that. You're just playing with people who are going to have a good time, and it's not that big of a deal. The rules are very well laid out, very clear and everything, and the game is just fantastic. I am really just surprised at how well it comes together. I like it. Now, my hands are shaky, but building these buildings, they're not really that high, and you can decide. You can build very sturdy buildings that may not be as high and may not score you as many points, or you may have to push the envelope a little bit. You can pick contracts that let you build lower buildings and not worry about it. Or that restriction's too difficult, I'm not going to do it. And as the game goes by, more and more pieces are pulled from the bag. Eventually you're going to run out of the cool big pieces, and there might only be small pieces in the bag. The whole thing is just this nice combination of dexterity plus visual appeal plus some neat choices that you go back and forth, and when you're done, even if you lose, you'll be like, I was part of building that city. And I like that. I like that concept of it. I'm always a fan of interesting, unique, new ideas. MegaCity Oceania definitely feels that way. It's one where everyone's taking turns kind of simultaneously. Not simultaneously, but I take my turn, everyone else is building, but everyone stops when it's time for someone to push one in the city, and everyone holds their breath. Will they make it? Usually they will, but sometimes it will fall. And then we all go back to working again and everything. And it's just kind of neat. It's like you are always focused on this game. You're never bored. And when you do have to stop for someone else's turn, it's with bated breath. And that's kind of an interesting idea. This is definitely a big game, right? Even though the gameplay itself is a lighter, more relaxed feel to it. But it's a game that has great table presence, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. That's MegaCity Oceania. I like it. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando, in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching the Dice Tower.